Ni mo yung kailangan yo. Mon nan matulaw yawita. Nan imulan mo kayo. Olre man parator, tonte. So ta mawawaki yawasame. Rakosang ya. Ap atanaman olsiba, aman olsiba. Ira leleto tonte, ira leler sakoes. Ira koto o kamal tiwasaw. O pilmian ay raramas, irawa koto. Dahil kamalti wasakis nilikin sakoes matan kipal. Wasakso, dahil kokosan ekiswaray. Ansaw siya tatete, yawaray. Ira kata-kato kokosan wasaw o ira lemata iraban ngata kautak me atanki nansen sab kautakot imeban kasarawiyala kaulapalap man meban kaunta ton koros tupontong alap likin not rail bil kamomo tatakot ya Piltuat, rai sudah tiar sanamawan tatak, betul me atan oilom. Rai lampil kasau tasang pasau, o kasau talang liken wanik, na wewe ke liken u. Rai pil kamomoyer tatakut. Momoeta, epil sotomau, sanamawan tatak, tiar kasau. Rai kasau longalang, likenan man, wasak ismatan ke alokap. Rai wiatar, Mumatar pasan ng tatakot wasaw. Kokosan nekiswaray wasaw. Olsiba o olsoba. Rap mamot talang tontol. Iran kairur sili. Rap kairur talang saunalang. Irarik lang ata. Kani mo yume. Mi likin saunalang. Kani mo iso. Rap ko saya pa na. Yay wasame atatatok. Pan kak sanamawat. And wasapan tirak ya. Niyan sa otro, iral pureti o wia kautak yo. Wasaw, iral kaporaman o kautak wasaw. Iyay makarapan wasawatan kinan kaporaman. Iral masalir. Ko talanger, kasaw talangan, likin saunalang. Likin sapo yo, matan kitaman. Iral aptiarir sanamawan. Aral tatak wasaw. Iyay wasame kani mo iso. Niniya.
I first met Masao in 1973 when I started doing the field work for my dissertation, and slowly developed a personal relationship with him where we would meet occasionally, sometimes just casually, sometimes on an arranged time, and we would speak about the Germans or about Pohnpeian traditions or some other subject that was connected to Pohnpeian history. I felt he was a remarkably bright man with a very unique interest in history, especially his own history. His grandfather, Llewellyn Bernard, was one major source of information, and then from there, he told me that he found anybody who would talk about history. He would find out who knew. He met many people because his father was non-Marquis of Matalennium for 36 years. And through the contacts that he had through his family, he became more and more interested in Pohnpeian history, and especially the history of Nan Madol.
Mon aray lalir matakan o pantabeta tatakot iral kawata trakayu nanset mon kak sansal ikis mor iral kawata trakayot iral na rapaki palipayuan nan wawa na waweki tiarata palimasa palkapi paliair paliapa. Niasa miral tiratar palipaiwat iraila kosanitir moment sonen ewe teke pekat pasane tanan ma yai karaban me kesimpulan takaiwat kawaitang rail moment santian aral tatok o ime pilwiata rasang foundation newe teke ileilan teke kan ileilan khel kan marapan wiyata ni ewe teke chorus rale sang ni takaiwat me kawitang rail atan takaiwat atan ki peran.
He was so fascinated by these ruins that represented the basis for the power that his own father exercised, for the traditions that he watched in action every day, the payment of tribute, the consulting of high chiefs to resolve disputes, the way power was wielded and the way it was transferred from generation to generation. He wanted to know the basis of all the traditions he saw in action. The yam feasts, the breadfruit feasts, the whole bevy of feasts that accompany all important activities on Pohnpei, including the drinking of sakao, which today is possibly less sacred a ritual than it used to be, but the foundation was laid at Nan Madol.
Takaiwat takain suk sakawan alu o sakawan sakasapang anilap. Irail samaro tikitin kan rabangin suk sakaw ma o wangit na ninpal o walong ala lole ren samaro lapalap o ipan sa peta lang anilap. Suk suk. Things have obviously changed over the centuries, but Nan Madol remains the foundation of all of that, kind of like our Constitution. It's many of the basic precepts of social interaction and especially traditional interaction grew out of events and practices that occurred at Nan Madol long before white contact. Imagareta nan pare karanyanger pong lapalap so light kan pan kola o kulit way o ato kia na neu tin no wewe tuata kel o auyawi anson pung lapala iral pan nia anson me pan lele rano iral samoro kan ban tage ta patuar o kola ale amen we wala o tu pata kamakeleta onek iral pan kapatala o kiang ponwar o tanto o san kauta nianson nianson kauta kuat iral samoro na laim saupan ran maka o nan kai o nan som iral pukat patan kak kinta ko waro o iral pan kitang we meral kamakele yang erpen wiat kauta ko ap nanapas pan kin samaro riaman pan kin ko we yo kawata ko tinap ap nanapas o we pan kin akmarap sang talio wasato olelmet ma nanabas pan kin sota kanang ma o marap rebang kesela we selakak rebang prangale o pil purala tu bata we o pil ma ekak kanang ma lelmet yang se rebang lelmet yang
Go.
iwasame itegawat matan ki itet iwasame kau taklapelap kin wiyawi wewe ki ye itan pasaraw mol saraw iwasan nan samol kin katkatia wasakoras net ap iwani mun wasabe rangin kot parataya wasame akan parataya met usirai retala momal lengar mon tom labala pa mamne ar niaso me nalain pa na layer puriasay o wato o kapakap o unani bangin tuat lapata pakmangit tipe nalain mari samaraukan mari nan mariki te south leor mari aramas koros o ban kiyang puresay haban pureti o kangala rin sanama mari momo ni sanama o ap koti la lole kamal arwewe ki kautakan nani upar pong lapalap imsaklar ituan.
Masao was kind of an amateur archaeologist because he didn't have archaeological skills. He was never trained in it, nor was he trained in formal history. But he had the instincts of a natural researcher, and he went to Nan Madol to try to find out if there was evidence that would corroborate legends that he was hearing, stories, legends, anecdotes, whatever he heard. He wanted to find out if it was true, and he also wanted to see if he could find out what went on, if he heard that an island had a particular use. He wanted to find out if there was any proof of that, if there were prayers done, was there an altar, if there were fires built there, were there ashes, if there were burials, what would he find if he were to go there? And he did. He told me once that he had investigated about at least 40 graves in Nan Madol to see what he could find. one of which was the grave of the Saltadors where Governor Berg dug in 1907. The stories, of course, say that Governor Berg died of heat stroke the following day. And Masao had heard stories that there were large bones in those graves, not just the graves of the Saltadors, but other graves. And so he himself went into the grave at Pain Cachel, the island where the Saltadors were reputed to be buried. It's the place where Berg dug, and Berg suffered spiritual retribution for it, and Masao wanted to see what was there. He told me that he protected himself as best he could with Pohnpeian magic, if that's possible. He later in life suffered illnesses that he attributed to his having dug in sacred places or forbidden places. In one of the graves in Pain Cachel, he found some shell jewelry that is today used for the crowning of the Nan Marquis. Only occasionally does the Nan Marquis wear these crowns. One of them is actually a shell Hadley that looks like a crown, and the other is some beads that he formed into a necklace that in the manner in which he found it, or he thought he found it. And it's quite a dramatic piece of jewelry. And when one Nan Marquis Salvatore was crowned, those pieces were used at the crowning. The crown was placed upon his head, and the necklace was placed around his neck, and it very much looks like crown jewels. And he found these in the burial at Pain Cachel.
Ikaw tatan ki kantarak wasaksit ansaw na ramas mela iral bangin wata wasili wasakan o kamsagla raban wata nin takawat kantarak iral bangin wanin tarak tuat iral pan wiya sangkai mapan kolalamau tarak kolalamawi aramasakan me anki melapkat imakareta maaramasaman pan mela niyansa magtal koto Nan Madol aramas koros nyatal kin kilang tatok kasampal pukat sangon mata toto makapuriamu ita kasampal kin parata renaman yetuan merasang tama kareta tatok lapwit tatong kalaimun wit wiawi kita sang nansit eu pileu kakpil mata-matawa yatuan arail wiata wasaksit te kanimut me tatong kitakai yawasar Israel kisang pileu mata-mataw melau tretal tagak mata-matawa yatuan arail tiare takai bukat yatuan arail wato marawato terakatirat kito manaman te sangata i eu mata-mataw laut metakan eu mata-mataw mepilikin parata laut ren amanaman yatuan arail kosakota takai bukat pagkakeli leila takai tau kalaimun yatuan arail kita la wasaila yei sangan mata-mataw bukat kin parata niyansaw me aramasaman kin parato o tutial wasaksit ibanagis kawewe tame ikak irapaki o ikis kaktiar angni tatakot rawiyaw nanset tatak pukat ewiyaw ita ni momon sarawik kasampale miral katan ki pong lapalap te kautakan nansyon sab Ari, kau tak kuat. Ikan wiyawi yang sangat lapet eo miral katan ki. Wiliapan anilap miral katan ki Nan Samol. Ari, Nan Samol. Wewe ki ime anilap. Ari, ikan mamor nansit. Lapet. Sudah mamor nansit. Iye karapan me tatok kasampaluat wiyawi kita sang nansit. Eo, takai pukat. Yawasar kisang ya. Sansal me wasa tatok lapa ko wiawir mas. Akai takai pukat kini me ton poi. Nan ton poi. Wasa koros. Akai sota sansal. Sangon tatok lapa ko me wiawir mas. Katira kata me sangon takai pukat. Kita lap uta sang nan poi. Ari met kamangayala matamataon. Yawas sa tagay bukat tira kia kak kasalayang kital me tonpe ilmiya sangan tagay tuwa tanda yatu na ral wato eo matamataw kasampal met ngay irapaki tuan sangan aramas misang mas tiyan aramas bukat Esoto waksang katal. Sausaw main, lolong main, palsak table tawli. Irapakir, tina amas pukat, tua taktal. Hap, mia sangan aramas sakay me. Kalay mo isang katal, piltirak. Nan mo German, Israel, mia, lolong ka, ite sausaw kay mere sarapatar, o tiar sangan aramas lapala, ti. Me, tin ne pa, ko tato lelni, langal-langaray. Oi, ray in men German. Nanwal, sangon tin mga naramas kalay mong siyang kitail, inan ng toto, tirakta. Ari, nananso me, tatok lapakat wiyawi.
Masao fulfilled his ambition to write a book about Nan Madol. In 1974, when I was still working on the German period, Masao, toward the end of my research, Masao expressed the desire to write a book about Nan Madol, and he asked me if I could help him. And at that time, I didn't have the time. I was at the virtual end of the research that I had. I needed to get back to the States to earn money to survive with a family, and it wasn't until 1981 that I was able to help him fulfill that dream. When I was working, I came back to Pohnpei in 1980 and 81 to work on a historic preservation contract. And partway through the contract, I was able to jettison one of the projects, one of 6 projects, and insert or substitute Masao Hadley's book about Nan Madol. And Masao and I began conversations about the scope of the book and how we would go about writing it. Finally, in the spring of 1981, Masao and I got started, and we would sit down and he would tell one part of the tale to me, and we did it basically piece by piece, starting with the building of Nan Madol, and then going through stories of various aspects of the building of the ruins, but also individual islets and what they were used for. He recapitulated the South Allure eras by going through the names of the South Allures who were known, and he talked about their accomplishments or their reputations. Then he moved on to the Nan Marquis, who followed the beginning of the Nan Marquis system after Isokelekal conquered Pohnpei. And he basically spoke about everything he could until he was finished. And one day, you know, he finished one rendition of one aspect of the story, and he said, "That's it. There's no more." Or that's all he was going to tell, at least at that time. And he felt like he had fulfilled his dream. And I felt pretty good about that. It was nice to know that he had finally gotten it all off his chest, so to speak. And he now felt as if, you know, that work, that one real ambition had been fulfilled. It was a pleasure to have been a part of that, and a real privilege. He was a very unique individual, and he very single-minded in his ambition.